Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to another fantastic day of online learning. So today we're going to look at five key marketing definitions, and then we're going to be following that by an activity. So you might have heard me refer to market research as we've gone through this topic. Now, market research is the process which businesses carry out to collect, record, and analyze data about customers, competitors, and the market that they operate in. In this course, we're going to look at two types of market research, that being primary research and secondary research. Now, primary research involves field research by gathering data directly from existing or potential customers and from observing their buying behavior. So some key ways in which businesses carry out primary research is by doing surveys, which they put to people who are existing or potential customers, and they get them to answer a range of questions about their behavior and about their thoughts on a product. Primary research can also be observations of customers in their buying environment. So some businesses set up cameras in their retail stores just to observe what customers do when they come into the shops. What sort of products do they gravitate to first? How many products are they buying? A whole range of different reasons why you might be looking to observe a customer in the buying environment. Now, primary research is differentiated from secondary research in the sense that primary research is completely up to date. It's been generated by the business in the moment, presently, so it's certainly not outdated at all. Primary research can also be specific to the needs of a business, seeing they're the ones who are conducting and undertaking the primary research. So if they've got a question that they really want answered, they can ask that question and they'll get an answer when other people in the past might never have asked the same question or investigated the same facts about potential customers. Conducting primary research, as we're going to do a bit more of an investigation, obviously is quite time consuming and expensive because you have to go through this data gathering process. On the other hand, secondary research. So secondary research, whilst it is a type of market research, it involves the business collecting and analyzing existing information about the market, their consumers, or potential consumers. So, for example, a business might look at its internal business records. So, what we mean by this is the information that the business already has on their customers. So, it might relate to their past sales history. So, what kind of products have they been buying? Is there a trend where they're buying more and more products or less and less products? What products do they buy together? What is the average amount of money that customers spend? What is some of the information that customers have given you in the past, maybe about some of their demographic factors, and we can use that to enhance our analysis of our existing customer data. Secondary research can also be that information that other organizations have collected and created in a form that is accessible to the business. So examples of this could be simply research and articles in newspapers or magazines. So it could be in a magazine like Fishing and Hunting New Zealand, talking about what kind of products that hunters or fisher people like to consume when they're going about their hunting and fishing activities. It also could be data that a government or local government, so Auckland Council versus New Zealand government has gathered about the market. And so the government obviously has a really unique picture of society given the information that it gathers in censuses. So census is sort of a big survey that goes out to all households in New Zealand asking for information on the household. It could be other information that is on the Statistics NZ website that might relate to our economy. So what kind of goods and services are we selling to the rest of the world? What kind of goods and services are we purchasing from the rest of the world? Secondary research can also be taken from specialist market research organizations who have conducted research in the past, and they can sell to businesses their research papers. So there are two types of research data that we're going to be looking at this in this course, that being qualitative research and quantitative research. So qualitative research is more related to the factors that motivate consumers when they're buying products or considering to buy products. So qualitative data is not sort of numerically measurable in the same way that quantitative data is, and qualitative research is very, very much specific to the emotions and the values of consumers. They involve sort of subjective values there, and these explain why people do the things that they do. Now, we know that being humans are very complex, so qualitative data from qualitative research is going to be incredibly varied because people have infinite reasons why they might be doing a certain behavior, and people buy products for a very diverse range of reasons, and people don't buy products for an incredibly diverse range of reasons. So we're going to be looking a bit more at qualitative research and the data that it generates. Whilst on the other hand, quantitative research is much more black and white. It's much more objective in the sense that quantitative research generates quantitative data which can be statistically analyzed because it generates numerical results. So our qualitative research might explain why people buy products. Our quantitative research is going to tell us how many people are buying our products. So these five areas are going to be explored in greater depth as we move through this course. Any questions on those, guys, absolutely contact me. Now, today's activity, and you might be wondering why I have up here my toolbar as well, but that is to complete task 2 A and B on page 5 of the workbook. Now what this activity is going to involve is creating a bar graph over here. So you are asked to just moving our picture of our workbook into screen. There you go. So for this task, gentlemen, first and foremost, we're going to have to do some percentage calculations here. Easy peasy. So percentage of total population, we're going to be looking at calculating those for the respective or individual populations of these sub-cities of the Greater Auckland area divided by the total populations here. So the percentage of total population for North Shore over the Greater Auckland region population is going to be the North Shore population, 315,000, divided by the total population, which is 1.604 million, times 100 over 1. And then you just want to be rolling that through these other three here as well. Manukau percentage of total population will be 383,000 divided by the total population times 100 over 1. Additionally, you're going to be calculating the percentage of total KFC outlets that are in these specific areas. So the same thing here, guys. For the North Shore, we would be dividing North Shore's KFC outlets being 4 by the total amount of KFC outlets in Auckland times 100 over 1, and just rolling that through there. Okay, now we have a bar graph activity. So you're going to take your data from here and plot it onto our bar graph. So this one here might be a little bit more challenging for those who are doing this digitally in SharePoint. So if you are, I would suggest inserting a picture. Now, for some reason, my one's not letting me insert a picture. Here we go. Shapes. So you are able to do shapes such as this. So inserting. Cool. So you will be able to insert, guys, bars to replicate as if you're writing this in person here. Okay, so gentlemen, there's a little bit of data to put on this one here because we're going to be plotting both the percentage of total KFC outlets and the percentage of Greater Auckland population on there. We'll be posting up the model answer to this one tomorrow. If there are any questions or issues, absolutely contact me at t.horrocks@ags.school.nz. Kia kaha.